Hello, we should be live. This is Tara Smith's Kitchen, and I am Tara Smith. And I'm cooking the food I'm going to take with me this week. I drive a truck for a living, and I take the food with me. And I'm going to be making beef and barley again. I know I made that last week, but I'm going to have cream of mushroom for it this week. And I'm going to make garlic soup, and I'm probably going to cook a steak for my supper tonight. And that's what we have going on. I have 2 pounds of hamburger already in the pot here that we are going to brown and remove. And then we're going to add an onion and some carrots and that sort of thing in here. I have to leave out tomorrow with a load. So I won't be cooking tomorrow. I'll be on the road. I'll get as far as I can. It's just life. That's how it is. I get as far as I can, and then I go to bed, and I wake up, and I get as far as I can. Let's see, Rumble should be playing. Reload it. Okay, hello out there on Rumble. Anyone who wants to watch on Rumble. I will turn the volume down here so it doesn't squeal. I don't know why I forget to do that. As long as I remember to turn it back on for my alarm to wake up, because I got to load everything up in the morning. And hello, Krabby Turtle. How are you doing? And just to mention it, if you haven't liked the video, please give me a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I appreciate it. And I put a Patreon link in the top of the comments on the live chat. If I can remember, I'll go back on the other comments and I'll put them in there for anyone who wants to support my channel. I do have a Patreon that serves both my cooking channels and my bike channels. So, for those that didn't know, I also have motorcycle channels. I ride a bike. And the Patreon serves both. And I'm always wanting to chop up the hamburger meat with a spatula. All is well. Happy the day is winding down. That is awesome. I didn't feel too good today. Not feeling great now, but better than I was. Got cats over there playing with stuff. I was supposed to go on a group ride today, and I did not do that. I went to a chapter meeting, and when the meeting was over, then I just went home. My back was hurting, so I went to my chiropractor, and I wasn't feeling that great, so I went home and I went to bed. Do I have a route tomorrow? I have a load I've already picked up. It's loaded. It's sitting on the yard. And I got to take that load about 1,600 miles away and deliver it on Tuesday morning. Probably about 8 o'clock. My plan is to be sitting there and checked in at 6 and see if they can take me early so I can get back home. I gotta make my food for several reasons. One is they don't really have food at truck stops anymore. Some of them still have the restaurant, but if it's open, it's just weird hours. And you can never catch them open because I'm going to be driving during the daytime and they close too early and they open too late. And then they can't figure out why they don't make any money when they're a truck stop. And part of that is because they can't get help, people to work for them. And the other part is people that buy them don't understand how they work. Restaurant's not really designed to make money. It's designed to bring people like me in. And so they'll do away with the restaurant. Then you have fast food, which is what most of the truck stops have replaced restaurants and that sort of thing with. And the fast food is just not good for your health. It's not good for anything. And I don't want to be eating it. I'm trying to lose more weight, and I may be doing more diabetic food or diabetic friendly food just because I'm pre diabetic. I'm married to someone who is diabetic, and we need to really start watching that. I think we've both been having problems with our sugar levels, which I think was my problem today too, as well as hers. So we got to start watching that. No, we're just watching meat brown in a pan. I should probably be chopping up an onion. Move, cat. And the cat's annoying. That's what cats do. She's a good cat. She does what she's supposed to do. I'm going to chop up some carrots. They're small carrots. I need to get rid of them. And I'm going to chop up an onion. And probably smash about 3 garlic cloves. And if you can tell me if you can hear me when I'm turned around because I'm at the other counter, that would be awesome. I need the carrots and I need the onion. So now I'm just chopping. And that's 2 carrots. They're small, so I'm going to do 3 more. I've already peeled them. One thing I did not look for was my bouillon, which I was going to use for the garlic soup. So I might have to look for that in a minute. So I do not know where it is. Yes, this is not a professional kitchen. This is like your mom's kitchen. I'm going to chop up the hamburger in there with a spatula. Need more cameras. A chopping cam. Yes, I do. And I messed up this week with my GoPro. I need another mount over here now. I think I can use my GoPro as another camera. But when I'm on my bike and I'm doing live filming, I'm using it as a hotspot. And my phone is one. I forgot to turn it off. So then it decided to, while I'm sitting in my truck, auto upload everything via my hotspot with my phone. And it used 25, gigabytes or something of data, which apparently was a lot. And it doesn't reset until the 8th. So if I want to do any more lives for my bike, I'm going to have to buy more time, and I don't really have money. Cat, will you stop? She's not being bad, she's just being a cat. You're not a bad girl, are you? No, she's just a cat. A cat being a cat. I can peel an onion. Yeah, chopping cam is a good idea. I need to finish with my kitchen. I need to finish painting and everything. I haven't had the time. I have to wait till the next time I have actually 2 days off to kind of work on it some more. There's just so many things. There's so much to do in so little time. It's like this that I'm doing right now, I actually still have to do. Whether I film it or not, because this is what I'm going to eat throughout the week. I do need my food. And it's also the cost of food has gone up so much, even fast food. You know, that meal that you got for like, $13 for years and years is now costing you, what, $18? That number one or that number two or one of them. This is getting about ready. Not quite, but just about. I'm chopping an onion now. Would have had all this prepared, but when I got home, I just went to bed for a while. I was not feeling good. Oh, onions make you cry. But the onion is chopped. I want to save a little bit of the onion for the steak. We will do that. And I'm going to take this out and put it to the side. Leave your drippings in here. If you still have little pieces of hamburger in the drippings, don't worry about that. See Krabby over there on, I think that's Krabby Turtle. Yeah. On Rumble. Thank you so much. And if anyone's watching on Twitch, I haven't forgot about you. Be careful with the bowl because that can be hot. And this is about a medium-sized onion, about 4 skinny carrots. We're going to put that in here. And we're going to put these down. I'm going to smash 3 cloves of garlic while that is happening. Kind of peel them first. Just kind of bump them with your knife. Like you got to smash them, but don't smash them. And that will crack it open, and then you can peel it easily. And then we'll smash them. The vast majority of the time, I do not mince my garlic, I smash it. And if you ever get used to smashing it, you will too. We have to be really careful of with garlic is that it will burn easily. And I'm smashing garlic. Barley. Measuring cup in here. I'm going to need a measuring cup, and I need my bouillon. You can use beef stock, you can use bouillon. I'm going to use better than bouillon, as usual. And there's the bouillon. Might be getting a new fridge. From the mother-in-law. That's vegetable base. I don't want vegetable base. Here we go. There is chicken, because we're going to use that on the next one. I don't know what stuck to the side of it, but I am going to need that. This is 3 smashed garlic cloves. And a very sharp knife. Easy to cut myself with. I have done it live while cooking. You see what else out there. Brown hamburger. Go Shadow. I get my garlic pre-crushed or diced. Yes, that is an option. I just like my fresh garlic. Cabby with all the comments over there on Rumble. You are awesome. wash this out. I have no idea why it wasn't clean, but it will be now. I mean, it's clean, but not how I want it. I get some hot water going. And a spoon. I got some that. Oh well. I'm going to guesstimate. Most things aren't exact with the recipe. You can kind of feel your way through it. But we are about to add the beef broth to it. My cat just will not leave that bag on. Oh, that was hard to open. If it doesn't get completely dissolved, don't worry about it, because it's going to get really hot when it gets in the pan, and it will dissolve then. Definitely dissolve then. Check this out. I've got cream of mushroom this time. That is awesome. One. And I'll go ahead and add the cream of mushroom. She's both off. Our 4 cups. A little more. Feel heavy on it. It's not going to hurt nothing. Go Shadow. Well, absolutely nothing happened in spite of people's worries yesterday. Correct. Not here. I don't know about over there. But the media likes to get everyone scared. And so do our technically enemies. Politically, government-wise, whatever. They like to have everyone all riled up and scared. When you're scared, you spend that money. And you pay attention to them and what they're saying. So we have 4 cups of beef stock. We have 2 pounds of hamburger meat, kind of browned over here. A medium-sized onion, 4 little skinny carrots, and 1 can of cream of mushroom. Where are my spices? Here's marjoram, oregano. I need thyme. That's basil, that's not thyme. I need thyme. Paprika. Cumin. Thyme. Here we go. You don't have to use crushed thyme. You can use regular thyme. Might actually work a little bit better. You hear the cat? Oh, yeah. Oh, other than protesting and all that and getting their moment in the sun or the spotlight, what have you. That's just life. Everybody's out there protesting their cause. And most people are just going on about their day-to-day life and not interested and probably think your protest, whatever that protest may be, is just an annoyance. Teaspoon of oregano. They really don't care. Most people don't. I mean, if it's a topic that you have interest in, which there are several that I have interest in, that judging by who's commenting in the chat, that we are on the same page on, you're going to pay attention to it. But everyone's still going to go to work. Everyone's still going to do their thing. Even if the world was coming to an end, everyone's still going to go to work. So if it really was, I doubt they would tell us. That is a teaspoon of marjoram. And I'm going to put half a teaspoon of thyme. Thyme's one of them things, it's when it's ground, you got to be careful with it. Kind of like cumin. When you're trying to measure it out. There we go. Half a teaspoon of thyme. I wish we could measure out actual time like that. That would be awesome. Isn't there a show where people buy and sell time, like how much time they have on their life? Like you're buying a meal and here's an hour of your time. Here's this, here's that. It's an interesting concept. I think time is truly our most mismanaged as well as our most valuable resource. Probably the one I screw up the most. Turn the heat up. And once again, I'm using just Quaker medium barley. Generally find it where like your beans and stuff in your grocery store are. And one of the things I was thinking about cooking was barley and lentils. It's a pretty good soup if you've never had it. I might cook it next time. It's probably going to be colder where I'm going, and this will stick to your ribs. I have an audience of felines. Why is this by my foot? Homesteading with Soulish Ginger. Hey, Corey, what's up? Oh, In Time. Okay, I got you. That must be the show that I was talking about. It's an interesting concept. Bring this to a boil, which it's nearly at. And once I get this going, I'm going to put it on the back burner and we're going to start on the garlic soup. Oh. This isn't too bad. It's a cherry Coke and it's 0 sugar. I've been trying to drink things that are 0 sugar. I've been drinking a lot of water. And I have my water too. Big old thing of water. Seems to help with headaches and stuff to drink a bunch of water. I don't know why. It's like the older you get, I guess the easier you get dehydrated. Oh, it's a movie. Okay. What are you doing? You can stand somewhere besides a plastic bag. No? No? You can. I promise you. That's Lola. Big fur ball back there. Turn it down a little. We're going to put our barley in here. Sorry for the noise. But it must be done. You can put a little bit more water if you don't want it as thick as I generally make it. I kind of make it more thick, and that's just my preference. You can have it more soupy if you want. Just add like another 2 cups of broth to it, or bouillon, whatever, beef base, beef something. You can make it with chicken bouillon if you really want to. Just like you can make it with cream of chicken. You can also make chicken and barley, which I believe I did make one time. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back through everything. Let me check the Discord. We got Discord, Rumble. Sorry, on Rumble. We got Krabby over there. Barley and lentil soup. Yums. Yeah, it is. It's actually pretty good. This soup is really easy to make. It's 9:51 now. About 9:30, this soup should be done. The longest time, like we just spent 30 minutes getting it to here. You can go ahead and add your meat to it and spend like the next 40, 45 minutes doing whatever you need to do. It's just the barley takes a while to cook. And the barley will also swell in the fridge. And watch it when you're putting your meat in there so that you don't get splashed. The barley takes a while, but it's worth it. Especially heading into the colder months. This is a good soup for when it's cold. You've got your beef and your protein and the grain and everything in there. And it's just one of those, like I said earlier, kind of stick to your ribs, stick with you kind of meals. She's sitting over there like a statue. The other one looks like a cat live. Next. I'll put on kind of a medium-high heat back here. And while that is cooking, we're going to do some garlic soup. I've got, what do you call this? A galley kitchen, little tiny narrow thing where everything is in the way, always. Do I want to use butter? Or do I want to use olive oil? I can use olive oil. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to have to smash up 7 cloves of garlic. So I guess if you're using the minced garlic or something like that, go by smell. It's going to be really garlicky. I think I did that one time just to try it. And it's going to be like 7, 8 teaspoons. If you put 9 in there, you're not going to hurt anything. What is your problem? I think she's saying she's a cat and she wants attention. Attention? Is that what you want? So now I'm peeling garlic. Two. And you can use minced garlic. That is perfectly fine. You are in my way. I just prefer fresh garlic. In most meals, you do not want to use this much garlic, but it's also One of those natural health things. You're going to fall off that counter, you're going to beat the dog. Things that are good. I know a lot of my viewers are kind of into prepping and stuff like that. But going back to where our ancestors used to eat and things that are good for your health. One of my future plans is to actually make my own sauerkraut. Because sauerkraut is a natural probiotic for your stomach. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. And also garlic, fresh garlic, that sort of thing. Is also good for your health. I can't remember the right word for it at the moment of what it is. But I do know it's good for your health. Wondering what the smashing is, I'm smashing garlic. I'm going to chop it a little too. I was using big garlic cloves. I don't break everything. Okay. You don't need a lot. We're just browning it. I'm going to turn that heat down on the back. Now, 2 things to have on hand just for your health, for your gut health and your immune system, I would say, is sauerkraut and garlic. Problem with most sauerkraut is that they don't sour it naturally. They use chemicals. And then they ferment it. And that's not going to do you any good as a probiotic. It's just not. Limited in utensils. And get some water ready. Our olive oil is ready. I was also going to make rye bread croutons for this, but somebody threw out the last of the rye bread. If you want to make croutons, I would use dark rye. And that works amazingly. You don't want to burn your garlic. easy to do. You just want to kind of brown it. As I'm getting this ready. Cut garlic on my hands. Had worse. It will stick and it will burn quickly. That is why I'm getting this ready. Here in just a second, we are going to pour this in here. You hate rye bread. Have you had fresh rye bread? Fresh rye bread is good. Most rye bread I don't like, but if you get like the dark rye bread, it's really good for making croutons, which is just you cut it up into little pieces, the slices, and you fry them up in a skillet, and they are awesome for croutons. And of course, some of our grandmothers would make this, and they just put a big chunk of rye bread in it. I don't like that. I saw someone one time do this and make croutons with the rye bread, and I'm like, that is the way to go. That is much better than a big chunk of rye bread. Oh, pastrami on rye, yes. That's not dark rye, though. But to each their own. All right, this is about ready. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but it's starting to brown the garlic. This is a point where you can burn it really quickly. So, yeah. I'm going to put 8 cups of bouillon in here. About 8. Then I'm going to turn the heat up. And I'm going to start chopping potatoes. And for this dish, you're going to want either red potatoes, which is usually what I use, or you are going to want gold potatoes. They work really good in soup. If you try to use a russet or something like that, russets will fall apart on you too easily. My power just blinked. I've been doing that today. It's been blinking. Oh yeah. Label's a little messed up. Better than bouillon, roasted chicken base, organic. Doesn't have to be organic, but if you like organic. Oh, just have like answering Corey there. Just have like roasted garlic. That is an awesome snack. I used to carry that in the truck with me. But yes, I've had that. 3. Una más. see what I'm doing in just a second. I didn't put a full 2 cups in here. Well, it all came out. I was going to rinse it with it. And some people add this later. Some people, like me, add it now. I want to put a teaspoon of marjoram in here. Which, marjoram, if you don't know, it's right here. It's in the oregano family. Technically, it is oregano. It's sweet oregano, where the oregano most of us are used to is savory oregano, like what you're going to find in most of your Italian dishes and that sort of thing. Mix it up good. And I'm going to start cutting potatoes. Should be about 6. And for however many you're making, it's a good number. You can kind of use that, a normal size red potato, not a huge one, for about every quart, you're going to add 3 of them. And no, I am not peeling them. Which is the other thing I like about both red and gold potatoes, is you don't have to peel them. And the larger you cut your potatoes, the longer it's going to take to cook. So, as long as you have them about the size it'll fit on a spoon good, that's really what you're looking for. As long as they'll fit on your spoon. It's 1 potato. Two potatoes. As we're bringing it to a boil, then I'm going to have to move it because we're going to cook a steak. Steak is always good. I didn't like the ribeyes this week, so I got a T-bone. Figured my dog's been good. He could use a bone. You always have to give a dog something to chew on. Dogs have to have something to chew on that they know that it's okay to chew on. That's how they relieve stress. And the same with cats. Cats have to have something that they can scratch on. I will not declaw a cat. Because that's how they relieve stress, number 1. And number 2, That is their protection. That's how they defend themselves. If you have to have the cat be clawed, maybe you shouldn't have it. I know they'll scratch furniture and stuff like that, but that's just the price of having a cat. Or at least it's the way I look at it. You may look at it differently. And you have that right. It's just something I'm not going to do. Comments. Corey has a question. Not on a truck. He's asking if I ever cooked like off the manifold, stuff like that. But when I was running equipment, heavy equipment, I used to run an old D6 if the manifold was perfect. So I'd fix like chicken and rice, stuff like that, and I'd put it in a bread pan and wrap it in aluminum foil. And about 30 minutes before lunch, I'd hop off and I would put it on the exhaust manifold and I would heat up my lunch that way. And some of the really old equipment actually has a box for doing that. I haven't seen it in years, but I've seen it before. Where there was a box where you could heat up your lunch. I always thought that was cool. You don't want that piece. I'm nearly done. I have one more. Yes, I'm going to take your bag away. I just got out of the bulk potatoes. I just bought 6 of them. So I have a bag over here. The cat's been playing with. Don't think I made too much. It's about 6 red potatoes. I did not peel them. You can peel them if you want to. Be careful pouring them in so you don't burn yourself. And what else are we doing? Move this. And move this. I live in a swamp, so everything gets put in a bag. A Ziploc bag. Like I said, once again, I live in a swamp. Yep, that one's working. Paper towel. Trying to make enough room here. And hopefully not knock everything over. No, that's not going to hurt anything. I know I use the same spatula. Get this thing warmed up. Down a little bit. Coolness. Now I am going to need butter. Oh, she puts too many things in here. What else do I need? I need a plate. Half salt, half pepper. There we go. Half T-bone. Let me see comments. My dad in the wintertime used to put like lunch meat and stuff in the side box. Could stay cold. That's before we had fridges and stuff like that in trucks. Yes, they will. Yeah, a cat has to have a scratching post. It's another thing, the stress. Yes. Always give them something to scratch. We want our salt. And we want our pepper. I want to use the good butter. If you need tips on how to piss your wife off, I'm really good at it. I can give you tips. Just realize she's going to be mad. Do not use plastic on cast iron. That does not work out good. My stove leans a little bit, so I gotta move everything around. Here's that little bit of onion. Old Humble Distilling Company. Hey, how are you doing? I need to get by. I need to get some more of your rye. Try some of that vodka you were talking about. Cooking beef and barley, which has got probably about 10 more minutes left on it. I'm cooking garlic soup, and I'm cooking a steak. That is what is up. I need a fork and a knife. Sort of a, we call it Eastern European Czech kind of way of doing a steak where you can fry it like that, but they use a little bit of garlic and they also add parsley, like a little bit of parsley on the steak. Turns out pretty good. I gotta go, Shadow. Hopefully she's cute when she's mad. My nose. Probably why I flipped her off so much. Our height difference too. I'm a foot taller. Look like Mutt and Jeff. Should be getting close here. Chuck Rumble. I've got a good night from Krabby Turtle over there. It says declawing a cat is Not an option. Kitchen cat cam, maybe. Say goodbye to your furniture. I don't get a cat. Good night. Sure, everything will turn out great. Awesome. Yeah, don't dump my liquor out. That will cause a problem. There we go. You're wondering about the color, why it's not as dark as it usually is. That is because of the butter that I put in there. And I put the good butter in, the Irish stuff, that one. Does change the color a little bit, but it's really good. Rye will be in stock December 1st. Well, that's a good Christmas present. My birthday's next weekend, if you got something for the 22nd. I think that's next weekend. Don't you dare jump down by the stove. Do knock anything over either. The other cat was jumping up on top of the fridge. Last week, she nearly got in trouble with the dog. The dog came in here because he smelled the food cooking. And then she hopped off. Well, what was it? She tried to hop on the stove when I was cooking. And I'm like, you're flammable. Don't do that. And then her and the dog got into it. It was a mess. I like ribeyes better than T-bones. But I didn't like how the ribeyes looked this week. You have a legendary Boomtown bourbon available. I may have to try that. I'm not as much into bourbon. Hold on. I also know a guy, his wife sold his Harley and snow machine. How much time did he get after, like, the murder that happened afterwards? That's how people get killed. Like, I'm not really for the death penalty for murderers in most cases, just because most people that get killed aren't exactly innocent. They did something. They were living a life of, that put them in that risk factor or whatever. Or they pissed somebody off. They screwed around on somebody. They did something. There wasn't no reason. I mean, there are innocent people that get killed, but most of them aren't exactly innocent. People that hurt kids, though, that should be public viewing, and the parents, if it's not the parents who did it, should be allowed to. If it's the parents, I don't know, just make it as painful and public as possible. Don't hurt kids. I haven't had that bourbon. Yeah, I'll try it. My thing with bourbon, I used to love bourbon a lot. I think I got burnt out on it as a teenager. Too many nights trying to lay on your side and lay in a safe position. We were all young once. Hopefully you just do that when you're young. You don't do that when you're older. When you're older, it's a nice glass of vodka or a glass of scotch. I love scotch. Or even bourbon or apple crown, which is like drinking a Jolly Rancher. you know, would you have a good glass and, you sit down and watch TV or what have you. You do your thing. Let it sit. There we go. That should be about done. Just about. I did not like the meat selection this week. Side, onions. And I need a cup. Something to put some water in. This is a good treat for your dogs if you have dogs. When you clean out your pan, and I'm sorry if that noise is bothering you. If it is, let me know. I'm scraping everything off the bottom. And pour that over your dog's food, and your dog will love you. Dry the pan off for a second because you do not want to let water sit in a cast iron. You really don't want water in it except for just scrape out the bottom like I just did. Maybe rinse it out real quick and put it on the stove. You don't want to like scrub it with soap and water or any of that kind of stuff. It's seasoned. Leave it be. And it will go. Yeah, it's hot enough. It's going to dry. There we go. And that's going to go back down here. Because I don't have much room for anything. How am I going to do a sample of these soups? That one needs to be stirred again. Do not want to burn it. That one is about done. And I need a spoon. Need more than a spoon. Need a couple of bowls, and I need an egg. There's a bowl. There's a bowl. I don't need to get everything all dirty. And I can make her mad, but not that mad. That would not be good. We shall get our one egg. I had some Swiss cheese. I do not know where it is. Should I put it somewhere? You can use any cheese, but Swiss cheese tends to work the best. And I do not know where she put it. So I'm just going to use shredded cheddar. It's not for you. I know you see a bowl on the counter. You think it's time to feed the cat. I know. I know. She's a smart kitty. I use my tiny little egg beater. It's going to kind of scramble it up. Try one of these potatoes. See if it's done yet. Yep. It is ready. And it is very hot. Meow meow. This part you can pour it through a sieve, or I need to turn the back down. Pour it a little bit at a time. Just start the spoon, what have you, and pour a little bit, because what you're going to want is just little tiny chunks of egg in here. In this pot, we have 7 cloves of garlic. We have 2 quarts of chicken bouillon, the better than bouillon. We have 6 red potatoes, a teaspoon of marjoram, and we're putting 1 egg into it. If you get some chunks in there, don't worry about it. Just stir it real quick. It'll break up. Yeah. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I just put some shredded cheese in the bottom. If you have Swiss cheese, that works best. She threw out my rye bread. I was going to make rye bread croutons. You can put that over the top. That works just awesomely. I'm not going to dish up a whole bunch of this. Just enough for demonstration. And that is garlic soup. Move that over. I have too many pots on too many burners. And I am making a mess. But I am good at making a mess. So let me go and clean this off. Also, try not to cut into your steak for about the first, 3 to 5 minutes or so. Your steak is technically still cooking. Once you take it off the grill, out of the skillet, or what have you, it is technically still cooking. Good thing about having a tiny kitchen, you can reach everything very easily. I'm doing that round-handedly. And this is beef and barley. Not going to dish up a whole bunch. Just enough so that you can see it. Because that is going to be my dinner on the road. Yes, I've been making a big, wonderful mess. Let's go to the dog. Dennis. How's crust off the steak? No. So we have that. We have our, I'll move this over here. Clean that again. Garlic soup. The garlic soup is also called hangover soup. And it is like a cold remedy sort of thing. Well, obviously it's a hangover remedy. But it's also a cold remedy. Like, people tell you to eat, chicken soup, that sort of thing, when you have a cold. Sorry about that. Next time, instead of chicken soup, try garlic soup. Garlic soup is awesome. Then, of course, we have our T-bone. And if you didn't know about T-bones, it's 2 cuts of meat. Meat over here is generally decent. That's not your best. This little small piece over here, that is your best cut of meat on a T-bone. put this on my stove. Pretty good. And don't overcook your steak, even if you want it well done. It's not quite well. It's like medium well. You still want that juice from the steak, that steak juice down there. If you cook it so much that you don't have that, you're going to have a tough steak. How many people else I got out there? I said 2 people out there. Well, thank you for staying this long. Yeah, Ghost Shadow. Talk about scrubbing the cast iron. If you use soap and water to scrub it, then it gets rusty. And you don't want it to get rusty. Just clean it out like I just did. Put a little water in it. Scrape the bottom real good. If you've got dogs, have their dog food ready. Pour that water over their dog food. They will love you for it. If you got a sprayer on your sink, spray it out. Put it on the stove. Make sure it's heated up real quick. The water evaporates. Put it in the oven. You don't want to scrub it. Not once you have it good and seasoned. This garlic soup is wonderful. Very easy to make and very quick to make, as you could just see. And I happen to cook it fairly often. Super bad videos. How are you doing? It's been going okay. I didn't feel very good today. I'm supposed to go on a group ride, didn't do it. Went home, went to bed for a while. Woke up and started cooking some things. Well, while I was getting ready, I was listening to Brooke's chat, which, if you haven't watched her chat, that is a great start shooting school. It's Suicide Prevention Saturdays. And I do support her channel and what she's doing as far as her efforts and everything. It's a really, really great cause. Let's see if I can find it and post a link. If I can. There we go. Copy link. And that link should be showing up in the chat. That is a link to her channel. And her thing is, if, basically 2/3 of all gun deaths are suicides, shouldn't we be focusing on mental health? Anyways, check her out. She has an awesome channel. And let me see. Go back to here. And back to Rumble, in case someone wants to say something on Rumble. I don't think tonight is a good night for Rumble videos. Sunday night tends to be pretty good for Rumble. Sunday night or a Monday night works really well, but I'm going to be driving, so I won't be doing a video. Eat this. And yeah, this is the beef and barley. For the beef and barley, we use 2 pounds of hamburger meat, 4 cups of the beef bouillon, the better than bouillon, about 3/4 cup of barley, a little over, not quite a cup, 3 smashed garlic cloves, a medium-sized onion, and about, I think it was 4 or 5 of them skinny little carrots that you wait till last to use. And it's awesome. It'll stick to your ribs as the weather is getting colder. It's a great meal for that. One of the meals I should be cooking soon, I guess, is going to be barley and lentils. Just another meal to cook with barley that is really good. Next week, I'm planning on cooking a birthday cake because the 22nd is my birthday. And if you're on Rumble and want to leave me a rant for a birthday gift, that would be awesome. But e-begging here. My mom always fixed me a German chocolate cake. We never had money for like the store-bought cakes and stuff like that. But she would make me a German chocolate cake. That's usually all I would get for my birthday. I got a German chocolate cake and either socks or underwear. If I got socks, I knew I was getting underwear for Christmas. Because we were poor. And that's just how it worked out. The soup is awesome. I'm going to dish that up into Tupperware so that I can take it to work with me. And that'll be most of my food for the next 4 or 5 days. The 5th day I'll probably run out. Super bad videos. Doing good, just been busy. Cool. I nearly had a cable take my head off this week. Unloading a vac box with a roll off. And the cable snapped. So that was interesting. Then riding home the next day, car cuts out in front of me, turns left in an area you're not supposed to turn left. 2 sets of double yellow lines. It looked like it was a lot closer than it was. I mean, they were close. If I didn't know how to slow down a motorcycle, I was already trail braking in the curve, which is the other thing. I kind of had to dip it a little more left, stand it up straight, and then go back to the right. Press left, go straight, press right, swerve around the car. But it starts giving you those kind of like final destination feelings, Well, thank you, Superbad, for the happy birthday. I appreciate it. Half the time my mom forgets. And she was there. But in all honesty, it's just another day once you're an adult. People people get mad. You forgot my birthday. It's a day, you know? It's significant in your life, but in the grand scheme of things, not really. It's another day that my mouth didn't get me killed. Or another day. Another year, another day. It's like, I made it another year. I'm still here. I haven't become a human crayon. No one shot me. It's down here by Houston. We have road rage shootings. That's kind of weird. People have done all kinds of stuff to me in traffic just because I drive for a living. Repeatedly slamming their brakes in front of me, everything else. I've had to pull over on the side of the road, just stop and let them go on and do whatever they're going to do because I'm not going to fool with them. They've never done anything that I'd want to shoot them over. Of course, when they stop you on one of those big loops and they stop in front of you and they get out with guns, that's not road rage. That's a whole different thing. Yeah, super bad. That's pretty much it. It's another year I'm not in the grave. We'll see if I make next year. I don't know. Sorry. Technically, I haven't made my birthday yet. Kind of freaked my son out. You know, I'm 46. I've got somewhere between 1 second and probably about 20 years left on this earth. And he's like, don't say it like that. I'm like, I'm just being honest. Yes, that side of the T-bone is the better cut of meat. It's always the smaller one. When I start getting that gooey cheese on the bottom. But if you can get dark rye bread and make croutons with it, they are awesome. I was going to do that, but she threw it out. All you do is you take that slice of rye bread, you cut it up into little crouton-sized squares, you put a little olive oil in a pan, and you fry it up like toast. And now you have croutons. And so you take the garlic soup, you pour it over, if you have Swiss cheese, pour it over Swiss cheese. And then you put the croutons on top, and that is just awesome. I love the crouton method better. Where did I see that? I saw someone else do that. What was it? Oh, the Czech cookbook. She does that. I saw her do that once, and I'm like, that is so much better than having a big chunk of rye bread in there. It's way better. She's awesome, too, if you haven't checked her channel out. She is a way better cook than I am. We do cook a lot of the same stuff just because she lives, I think she's near Brno or something like that. But she lives over there. I have a grandmother from there. So There's some recipes that go together. Vanessa Kitty, hey, hi, how are you doing? I've already cooked everything. I'm just eating. Excuse me. Rosin. And kind of burning the clock out here. Making about 2 hours for the chat. But we made garlic soup, beef and barley, and a pan-fried steak. Oh yeah, oh, you just got back home? Yeah, it's a lot of stuff everyone's fighting over. It's life is too short. I'm more of the opinion of as long as you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. I live my life, you live your life, you know? As long as we don't infringe upon each other, we're good. Steak turned out pretty good. Dog's laying over there patiently waiting for his bone. You'll get it. Continue to make a mess over here. And like I said, this piece is good, but it's not as good as that side. I can't remember the names of the cuts of meat. I said other chats have problems with words anymore. Yeah, super bad. It's kind of how I think, you know, that media trying to scare everyone, rile them up. I think they want World War III, to be honest. It would be good for ratings. There we go. When it comes down to it, you know, they want to scare everybody over what's happening in the Middle East and Ukraine. And I know people who are actually in Ukraine. And unfortunately, war is good for business and it's good for ratings. Sore disasters and all that. Media wants to manipulate everyone. They're just salivating for someone to bomb a hospital or a kindergarten or something like that. And at the point that they're that excited about it, I kind of lose interest. These are all humans. No matter what God they believe in, we're all God's children. People are never going to stop fighting. We have long and well documented records of that. Most of our technology comes from finding better ways to kill each other. If you have someone who mentions, oh, that's, all love each other, and they tend to get killed. Let's fix the problem. Those politicians get assassinated. That's not good for business. There you go. Oh, I'm not going to leave the kitty out. I can't forget the cat. The cat gets food too. I don't care about your opinion. Here you go. And there's another cat up here. So then you get a piece of steak too. Yes, my cats are spoiled. They get steak. There you go. My dog's protesting, giving the cat pieces of steak. Probably going to keep this going for about 7 more minutes and end it right at 2 hours. I want to be in bed by midnight. If I can be in bed by midnight, I can probably get up about 5 o'clock, get a good night's sleep. My full 4 hours of sleep plus 1. Start loading everything up for the road. Checking comments. No new ones. I'm sitting here eating steak. I used to love watching cooking shows growing up. And I love their stories and stuff. I loved, obviously I love Julia Child, who I think didn't start cooking till she was in her 40s, which is amazing. Then you'd listen to like Justin Wilson, and he'd have his stories, or like the Frugal Gourmet. So basically you're watching cooking shows in the early 90s, late 80s. It's hard to find the Frugal Gourmet's videos, so you can find Justin Wilson pretty easily. I found some. There's a channel I think that I'm subscribed to that has some of his. I don't remember what the name is. That was, before Emerald and all of them. It was like, I think on PBS back when you had your 2 upper channels, you got your matinee movies and stuff like that on. And you had like, Fox or UPN. And you had your basic, your ABC, NBC, CBS, and you had your PBS. That's ABC. That's like 6, 7 channels altogether that we'd have. It's nice to have the sink right behind me. That's something that I would watch with my mom, is we'd watch the cooking shows. Then another thing I used to do with my mom, she had this um, noodle maker that you could make any noodle that you wanted. And it attached to the edge of the counter, and it worked by like a crank. And you could make all kinds of noodles. That was awesome. Now, my previous comments about being peaceful doesn't mean I won't fight back. Doesn't mean don't be prepared or any of that. Just means the media and politicians suck on all sides. They like war, they like strife, they like the taboo, they like death and suffering. Which, as far as I'm concerned, makes them pretty much evil. What are you barking about? I think he's calling dibs on his piece of steak. You calling dibs? Yeah? Well, you've got a whole bone over here that you're going to get. Okay, about 1 more minute on here. Perseverance, medical care, cool. So anyways, thank you everyone for watching me cook all of this and eat my supper. If you haven't liked or subscribed, please do so. If you haven't left a rumble, a like, rumble, it's called rumble over on Rumble, please do so. It all helps me out. It all helps the algorithm. And I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to finish eating my steak, and I'm going to put all this stuff in Tupperware, put it in the fridge, and I am going to go to bed. So I hope all of you enjoy yourself. Have a wonderful night and a good tomorrow. Every day after that, honestly. And I should see y'all next week. I'll be making a cake. So I will catch y'all later. Bye-bye.